talk about. I really don't have time this week, and then I have things to do, lots of things to do this week, and then it's unbelievable. And then, but I can't stop making YouTube videos, and because I don't know, I just want to deliver. And then as I spoken to someone, I can't stop talking about it. And when I start talking about it, why microphone is here? When I start talking about it, about key culture, I would be able to talk about it for 10 days. Non-stop. I wouldn't stop for 10 days. I have so many expressions to talk about, and so many things, and so many my experience to talk about. So then but yeah, really I don't have time today. And then I decided to talk about a very small thing, which is a foreigner in Japan, and it's notoriously called, Japanese people are calling foreigner a Gaijin, and which means outsider. And it's really it was really hurting me, because when the media talked about it, and then I saw the articles, or in the news, Japanese television news, and they talked about the foreign media was talking about it, and it's really sad, because we don't mean outsider by saying Gaijin. Even though Gaijin is this one, outside person, but what does it mean? Is not outsider. It's abbreviation of Gaikokujin, which is foreign person. So the proper way of saying a foreigner is Gaikokujin. It means foreign country person. But in Japanese, because of the Japanese language, it's quite it's pain in the neck to say words like this. It has Gaikokujin, 6 syllables or 5 syllables, and it's really hard to say this word in a sentence, because of too many syllables. And then these things happen to foreign words, like a Paris collection show. Paris collection becomes, in Japanese, paricole. We call it paricole, and there is nothing, no intention of meaning anything. It's an abbreviation of Paris collection show, and that becomes paricole. Because if you say I went to Paris collection, in English it's okay, but if I say 私はパリコレクションショーに行ったよとか, if I say that, it's really long. So we call it paricole. And the same thing happens to supermarket. Supermarket is almost Japanese. It's imported to Japanese language, but supermarket is 9 syllables, and it's really hard to say that. So it becomes super. So now if you say super in Japanese language, that means supermarket. And super, we don't see any meanings in super. Super is abbreviation of supermarket. nothing like a super very good or very great or something. So that same thing happens to Gaikokujin. And if you say Kokujin, there is another word using another Chinese character, Kokujin, a black person. So it is confusing if you say Kokujin. So so it's yeah it's not hard to understand. We picked Gai and Jin and then made an abbreviation, Gaijin. And surprisingly, not many Japanese people can explain this one, and even it's an abbreviation, nothing else. Do you know the keitai denwa? Keitai denwa is mobile phone or cellular phone in American English. The keitai denwa is too long, so it becomes keitai. The portable phone becomes portable in Japanese language. It doesn't mean anything. The portable, we call portable, and that means keitai denwa, because we know it's abbreviation of keitai denwa, so we call it keitai keitai. So there is no meaning of outsider. But I know the foreign people will feel lonely or being outside. Actually, it's because of there is no kind of something in common, and if you want to be involved in seriously in a Japanese society, you must use ki. And if you use ki, and then Japanese people will think, oh, this person really knows Japanese culture, and you will be within us. You will be included. But if you're not knowing it, and then we don't know, the Japanese people will not know how to interact with you. So you will be outside. So that's unintentional, and it's not. We don't want to hurt Gaijin, and also as I explained in a previous video about tatemae and honne. It's if you're outside, you get most of the respect. It's really different from British culture. And if you're outside in Japanese culture, and then that means you're the most respected person in Japanese society. And guest, you're guest, so you will be kind of treated as a guest. So that little thing I wanted to explain, and I wondered why no one was explaining about it. Maybe one thing was at the time there was not many Japanese people. There was Japanese people in England or overseas, but not as big as today in London, especially. Then probably none of them wouldn't be able to explain that, and or just being being a student, and then they didn't want to explain it, or they were too busy to explain it, or just can't be bothered, couldn't be bothered. And oh no, but if you study well enough, you will see then this is abbreviation. There is nothing about hurting them. And so this kind of thing, I've got kind of sense of languages and differences and diversities, and because I graduated university and I studied linguistics, and then there was a Japanese department, English department, German department, and my headquarters had a French department. Also, they had Chinese department. Now I was in English department. I'm feeling ashamed, but yeah. Then, so it's not about the language, and then going to university and study for 4 years is not about all about learning language. That you will see the lots of foreign people learning Japanese, and their dream was most of the people had a dream to go back to their country and open their college and teach Japanese to the people in their country, and also and then Japanese people as well. There was Japanese department, and then there was Japanese students in Japanese section, and they were trying to be a Japanese teacher overseas, so they could learn what they want to learn, what they could learn the language they want to learn, so they can go to that the country, and then they would be able to teach Japanese. But I don't think it's that kind of things. Education in language education in university is appreciated as much as it should, because there is so many people teaching Japanese for free without any qualifications. So English teachers as well. The English teacher in Japan, some of the schools don't require any qualifications. That's horrendous. You have to know the language. Also, you have to know lots of different things. You have to have international kind of balanced things in concept of the language. You have to know the concept of the language, and if you know well enough about your language and difference between Western culture and Japanese culture, you will get the idea. This is abbreviation. So I think we should be more appreciated, and the people studied or English or Japanese or German or French at university should be more and more appreciated, I think. In Japan. Then I'm not talking about the people graduated university in England or America. I think Japanese university students should be appreciated more. So that's what I wanted to talk about, and this is nothing but abbreviation. So I think next time I want to talk about kenjo, and kenjo is kind of talking myself louder, or I think teine, being polite, a polite language. I think that before talking about more and more example of ki. So yes, so see you later.